In the form of predicates, we have discussed the XPath queries, right? So with the help of the query builder, we are executing them. So similarly, in the AEM, we also have the SQL2 queries, so where we can execute them directly inside the CRX repository. So instead of, we don't have any interface, we can directly execute them. Okay. Um, okay. So we have discussed about SQL2 queries, sorry, XPath query builder. And then, so how the query builder we are writing the queries? So we are writing these queries inside the query builder in the form of predicates, right? So predicates are nothing but the key value pairs we are writing. So these predicates, whatever we are having, so these predicates will be internally converted into the XPath queries. Okay. So XPath is the language which is supported by the query builder. And then this XPath is also, this is how the XPath query builder is also created using this XPath only. Okay. So as we can't, as it is not one of the most popular languages, so we'll be writing in the form of predicates, and internally these predicates will be converted into the XPath queries. So and these XPath queries will be converted into the SQL2 queries with the help of Oak Query Engine. Okay, so we have one thing called as Oak Query Engine. So with the help of this Oak Query Engine, the XPath queries will be converted into the JCR SQL2 queries. JCR SQL queries, they will be converted. Okay, so if you are writing predicates as well, so they will be executed as an JCR SQL2 queries only because our the repository the repository mainly supports these SQL queries. Okay, so instead of writing in the form of predicates, so we can directly, if we have the knowledge, we can directly execute these SQL2 queries. Okay, so we can directly write the execute SQL2 queries and we can directly execute this SQL2 queries as well. So these SQL2 queries are faster compared to the XPath queries or the query builder, they are faster. Okay, so we'll not have much difference. So just in milliseconds of time, it is faster compared to the query builder. So you can use both the ways. So according to our requirements, so we can use any of the ways, either going with the query builder or either going with the SQL2 queries. So if you are having a knowledge on SQL2, so then SQL2 will be more faster compared to the query builder. So whatever the operations we are performing on the query builder, the same operations you can also perform in the SQL2 queries. Okay, so we can search for pages, we can search based on the path, based on some properties we can search, and then we can order those results, and then we can execute based on the dates. So all the actions we can also perform in the SQL2 queries as well. The same thing we can also perform in the SQL2. So if you want to perform these SQL2 queries, or if you want to write these SQL2 queries, so where can we write? So just go to your CRXD. Inside the CRXD, we have one tool to just trail and run purpose your SQL2 queries. Okay, so we are not writing it to execute. So if you want to execute the queries, at least you have to write the backend code in order to execute the queries. So in order to test before executing them directly, so with the help of the trail and run purpose, they have introduced this tool. So in the CRXD, so here we have an option of tools. So go to tools and then go for queries. So if you want to write the XPath queries directly instead of predicates, you can directly write the XPath queries here as well. Okay, but if you don't know the XPath, you can just go for the query builder and then execute the queries in the form of predicates. Okay, so in this drop down, whenever we are selecting SQL2, so we have to select the SQL2. So previously, before AEM 6.0 version, we used to run the SQL queries, but this SQL queries have been deprecated. You have to use the SQL2 queries only. So we have to perform the SQL2. So select the type as SQL2, and then you can just click on generate. So when you click on generate, it will say, it will generate one basic command, it will generate. Okay, so this is the base command. So select star from NT base and as S. Okay, so this select star from, so select the star is nothing but the repository. So star represents the entire repository, and from the node type. Okay, so whatever the node types we are having, so it will be specified the node type. Suppose if I want to search for pages, what is the node type of pages? CQ colon page. If I want to search for a component, CQ colon component or CQ dam colon asset. Okay, based on the property, NT base is nothing but now Similarly, it will retrieve all the nodes. That means simply like an empty unstructured. Okay. So if you want to search for empty unstructured, so then you have to specify as empty base. So empty base will return the results from the entire repository. If I click on execute, so it can transfer more than 1 lakh nodes. So if it is transferring more than 1 lakh nodes, so at the time it will throw an error. Okay. So it can't exit more than 1 lakh nodes in the repository. Okay. So if you want to search for pages, so then at that time you have to specify this thing. So CQ colon page is the node type. I want to search for page. When you specify CQ colon page, now it will search for the pages in the repository. And as S is nothing but the Alice name. Okay, so simply you can say that it is a nickname. So whatever the data that comes from here, so that stores inside this, yes. So it is an Alice name. Okay, just hit on execute. Now it is returning some results. It is returning, so 1686 results it is returning. Why? Because we are retrieving all the pages in the entire repository. Okay, in the entire repository we are retrieving all the pages. Suppose if I want to retrieve the pages on a particular path, so in the query builder how we will go? With the help of path predicate we will be writing, right? With the help of path predicate you will be specifying the path inside the query builder. So if you want to write inside the SQL2 queries, so just search for your path. So we don't know SQL2, so we can just copy the path en and then go inside the path and then try to execute this one. So content we retell USN en and then click on generate. So once you click on generate, it is adding some more command to it. So where is descendant node? Okay. So where is descendant node is equals to content we retell USN en. So inside this content we retell USN en. So I want to search for. So now in this case, so from NT base and then I want to retrieve all the nodes in this particular path. So if you want to retrieve the page, so this value will change every time when you click on generate. So you have to change the value again. So CQ colon page. Just click on generate. Sorry, CQ colon page is the value and then hit on execute. Okay, so now it is returning 215 results. So inside the internal child nodes as well, it will iterate and then it will return those child nodes as well. Okay, so you have to go inside this one and then you can execute. So where each descendant node is nothing but the path predicate you want to execute. So this is the path predicate. Suppose if I want to search for based on a property, okay, I want to search based on a property. So at that time you can use the AND operator. And where is the property will be there? So the property will be inside whatever the data that is there, that will be inside this Alice name, right? So now inside this Alice name we are having the pages. So in this pages I want to retrieve, I want to search for any value. Okay, so at that time simply you can specify yes dot what value I want to search for. Okay, so every time we have to specify what value I want to search for. So inside the JCR column content I want to search for CQ colon template. The same values will be executing here as well. So just CQ colon template. So JCR column content and CQ column template is equals to and specify the value inside the single quotes. So I want to search for the pages which are created using hero page template. So you can just paste this value and then just hit on execute. So now it is returning 5 results it is returning. So that means totally whatever the pages that it has retrieved, so in those pages the CQ column template value which is hero page template, so these 5 pages are created using hero page template. Out of 215 results, only 5 pages have been created using the hero page template. Okay, suppose if I want to search for another value, so then you can simply change the property. Instead of JCR content you can specify sling colon resource type. Okay, so sling colon resource type property we can specify and you can search for sling colon resource type property we can search. Okay, suppose if I want to search for more than one property, so right now CQ colon template only I'm searching. If I want to search for sling colon resource type as well, okay, so it's the same thing we have to specify. If you want to use an AND operator you can specify AND operator. If you want to use an OR operator, so then you can specify or operator. So or and operators we can specify. So now I'll specify end condition. Okay, so end yes dot JCR colon content slash CQ colon Sling colon resource type. So JCR colon content and sling colon resource type, and then you have to specify the value inside the single quotes. Okay. So just try to get the value. Sling colon resource type. Yeah. Okay. So now again it is returning five results because we are having the same template, right? So the same template will use the same page component only because templates are created with the help of the template type and template type is created with the help of the page component. So both the templates, whatever we are having, so the templates will use the same page component only. Suppose if I use a different template and this page component, it will not work. Okay. So with the help of the templates, with the help of the page component only, we are creating the template. So that is how we can search for more than one property. So JCR column content and sling column resource type. Suppose if I want to use an OR condition here, so then you have to specify OR. When I specify OR, that will be an OR condition. Just hit on execute. So 1423 results it is returning. Okay. So again, try to use end condition. Okay. So now we have got this end condition as well. So once I have got this end condition, now if I want to, if right now whatever the page it is returning all the pages. Okay, so five pages it is returning. So if you want to sort these results, we have to go for the order by predicate, right? So same here as well. So we have to go for the order by. So just use order by as a value. So CQ colon structure page order by is equals to ASC. So ascending order will specify ASC. If I hit on execute, so experience, about us, equipment, and men and women, it is written. So if I'm specifying descending order, so then you have to specify as descending. Still the same result, order by extraction. Start expected and order by dot sort down. Should change the result. It's not changing. Yes, dot order by is equals descending. I'll specify descending. Okay, so order by, we have to specify the value, order by values. You can specify directly as an order by. So we'll see the order by predicate next. So this is how we can execute some of the same things with the help of the SQL2 queries. Okay, so whatever we are writing here, so it's just for the trail and run purpose only. The same thing. So if you want to execute them really, or if you want to return the results, so then we have to write the backend logic for this in order to execute this one. So if you want to write the backend logic, so just simply copy this query and then you can execute that inside the backend. So you can go for the same servlet which we are using in the last session. So when it comes to the SQL2 queries, you can directly execute this SQL2 queries directly. Okay. So simple queries is the one we have used yesterday, right? Yeah. So right now, how we are executing this query builder. So you first have to get the resource API, right? So first I have to get the query builder API. So with the help of @ reference annotation, and then we have to get the query builder. So once after the query builder, inside that method, in order to create a query, so we have one method that is create query method I am having, and then it accepts two parameters. One is session parameter it is accepting, and second one it is accepting the predicate group it is accepting. The two things it is accepting. So predicate is nothing but the key value pairs we have to specify. So that means this is a map object. This create method is accepting. So in order to pass a map object, we have took the map object and whatever the uh, query I want to search for. So all that query I have inserted inside the map object with the help of put method. Okay, so once we have inserted with the help of put method, I have passed that query. So I have made this map object into an predicate with the help of this create predicate method. So predicate group dot create predicate method converts this map object into an query. And in order to search for the credentials, so we have to pass the session object. So when I'm passing the session object, we'll have the read access and write access, or we'll have the read and write access to the CRXT. Okay, so with the help of the session object. So in order to get the session object, how we can get with the help of the resource resolver, we can get the session object. Okay, so inside this session object, so you can directly call. So that is how we can execute a query builder. Suppose if you want to execute an SQL to queries, so just try to comment this one. So you use the same software. You comment the entire one method. There is no need to get the query builder as well. Okay, so do get, and then now inside this I want to execute the query. So if you want to execute the query, first we need to get the query, right? So without the query we don't get the thing. So while going for the query builder, or when you are executing this SQL to queries, you can directly search in the repository. So whatever the conversion we are having, so there is no need to convert. So our CRXD has an ability to execute this directly. Okay, so how to execute them? So then with the help of the resource resolver, we can directly execute the query, and then we can send the, and then we can get the such results from the query. So just try to get the query first. So it is a sequence of characters, right? So multiple things it is there, and then we'll be not writing in the form of predicates. So it's an entire single statement. This query is an entire single statement. We have to write as a single statement. Okay, so that's why I'll create one string object here. So string query is equals to, so this is the query I want to execute. So mention that inside the double quotes. Okay, so now we have got the query. So select start from CQ column page. Where is descendant node, and then we are searching for this query, and it is returning 5 results. Okay, so now we are having the query here. So if you want to execute the query, so at that case we have to get the resource resolver. So inside the resource resolver, we have one method, that is find resource method we are having. So with the help of the find resource method, we can easily execute the query. Okay, so first call the resource resolver. How to get the resource resolver in a servlet? So it is available on the request object. So here we are having the request object inside from the, with the help of the request object, I can get an resource resolver. So request dot get resource resolver, and then it will return the object of resource resolver. So resource resolver object it is returning. So inside this resource resolver, we have one method called as an find resource method. So resource resolver dot find resource, and then it is returning an object of iterator. Okay. So that means when you hit on this find resource method, you will get the results directly. So iterator resource it is returning. So find resource, first parameter, it accepts two parameters. So first parameter is a not null string value we have to specify, which is nothing but a query. Okay, so second parameter how we can pass is, so we have to pass what type of query I am executing. Okay, so whether it is an XPath query, or whether it is an SQL to query, or if it is an SQL query also we have to specify. So in order to specify which type of query it is, so you can just simply use query method. So query dot jcr underscore SQL. So this is the query I want to execute. So just try to import this value. So com.day.cq.search is not the import. So Java X JCR query should be the import if you are going for the SQL2 queries. Okay, so this should be the import. And then inside this SQL2 query, so we have one variable. Okay, so which defines that as an SQL2. So you have to get that variable first. It's not a value here. So Java or ACR predicates yes. Inside the resources on ACR. Queries input should be on dot day dot c dot such should be the input. Java X JCR should be the input. Okay, so Java X JCR dot query should be the input. So once you import this one, so inside this one we have the thing. So JCR underscore SQL2 is the variable. Okay, so it is a variable, so that's why I'm directly calling with the help of a variable. So query dot JCR underscore SQL2. So if you go inside this value, so basically this will be an SQL value only. So JCR underscore SQL is the value it is storing internally in the resource. Okay, so import should be Java X JCR dot query should be the import. So once I have got this query, so it will return the objects in the form of an iterator. Okay, so iterator is nothing but because once I execute this one find resource method, so this find resource method, what it will do, so it will return a lot of results. Okay, so in order to return all of those results or in order to search for all of those results, so then you have to go for this iterator. Okay, so when the resource is there, okay, so whatever it is returning, so it is returning in the form of results. Okay, just try to use the results. Just try to store them as an results. Okay, so once you got this results, so first we'll check whether the results are null or not. Okay, so if the results are not equals to null, so at that case I have to go inside this and then we have to execute this one. If results are not is equals to null, so then you can simply execute. So before executing, so iterator resource resolver dot find resource, whatever the data that it is returning, so I'll get the data in the form of JSON array. Okay, so create an JSON array object. So JSON dot create array builder, and then it will return in the form of JAB object. Okay, so once I have got this if condition, so if results are not equals to null, so this results I want to adapt as an resource. Okay, so results dot get resource. Okay, so results dot get resource is one method we are having. So and then it will return the results we are having when results are not equals to null. Method it is accepting has next. Oh yeah, so when we'll go for a while loop while iterating, and then once we'll not get all the results, right? Inside the results we have a lot of values because it is an iterator. Okay, so the iterator data is storing inside the results, so I want to get each and every individual one. Okay, so not entirely the all results at the same time I can adapt as a resource, so we have to adapt as an individual page as a resource, right? So that's why I'll go for an while loop. So because the initial condition is unknown, so how many results it is returning I don't know, so that's why we are going for a while loop. So inside this while loop, when results dot has next element, okay, so I want to retrieve that element. Okay, so then you can just go for results dot next, and then it is what it will return. So from the next element it will return as a resource. Okay, so once I've got this resource, so this resource is a single individual one. So this resource I can adapt to a page dot class. So resource dot adapt to page dot class. So page import should be com dot day dot cqwcm should be the import of the page. So with the help of the page, instead of iterating to the child nodes manually, like specifying JCR content, you can directly get that as a resource. So what object it will return? So it will return the page object. So try to accept the page object. Okay. So from this page, whatever the results I want to print, so I whatever the data I want to get from the page, so we can get from the page. Okay. So we can get a title, we can get a path, so we can get the same things as well. So just create a JSON object. So JSON dot create object builder is one method we are having, is one constructor which will create an object for the JSON. So job is the object. So inside this job, I'll retrieve the values and I'll add. So job dot add. So title of the page. So in order to get the title, page dot get title is the method. So it will return the title of the page. And then we'll get the path of the page. So job dot add path, and then page dot get path is the method. Okay, so it will return the path. So title is equals to page dot get title, and then path is equals to page dot get path. So every time whenever this data is there, so for every iteration, I want this data to be added to the JSON array. So directly add to the JSON array. So jab dot add the job here. Okay, so whatever the data that is the JSON object containing, so that object I'm adding inside the JSON array. So you can write an else condition as well here. So else, what I'll write is log.info. You have a logger, right? So log.info, uh, error file, so, results. Okay, so error while fetching the results I'm passing, and then we'll see what is the data that is inside this result object, comma results. Okay, so the placeholder will be replaced with the value. So that is the while loop. So just we are going for a while loop, and once I've got the while loop, just I'm getting the results and then I'm iterating. So if from multiple iterations, I'm getting as a resource. Okay, so from the resource, the results dot next element I'm checking whether it is available or not. So and then I'm retrieving that element. So once I've retrieved that, so I've passed that as a resource and adapted to page dot class. Okay, so this is one high level API. We can directly get the data about the payers instead of going for a resource resolver or adding content more. We can directly get that with the help of page manager. Okay, now once the user hits this particular query, as I want to return particular path, so now I want to return the results. So that's why with the help of the response object, we can return the results. So response dot get writer dot write is the method, and then here we have to pass the JSON object. So JSON array we have to pass. So job dot first we have to build it, and after that we have to convert into the to string format. So to string. So it will return the results in the string format. Okay. So just copy the path and try to deploy it into the server. So for every backend change, we have to deploy, change the directory and deploy. So you can build the entire package as well. So in order to as we have made the changes only in the backend, so we can just directly build the core module only. So because if you are building the entire package, it will take a lot of time. Okay. So MVM clean install speed auto install continue. Okay. So now it is deployed. So search for this query, search for the servlet, and then it will return the results. It is a path-based servlet. You can directly hit because it is not bounded to any resource. So localhost colon 4502 and then pass your query. So now it is returning the results. So experience path, and then title. So for every iteration, the data will be added to this value. So for every iteration, one value will be added to this form. Okay. So that is how you can execute the JCR SQL2 queries. The same predicates. So if you are not having an idea about SQL2, just you can use the generate option and generate the values. Okay. So then replace with the whatever the content you want to search for, replace those values with the content. So any questions? Any questions from online?